City boy, city boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this show was ass personified. All right, that's just it. Let's just put it out on the table. It is what it is. All right, it's your boy Nate the Great, back with another video. We had to go ahead and do this Smackdown review. All right, let's just put it out there on the table, man. This show was garbage. All right, there was not very many redeeming qualities about tonight's show. Most of it was just filler, garbage, nonsense. All right, Triple H just continues to top himself with how garbage he can make these shows, man. Throw shit at the wall, hopes that something sticks. I don't even know if he cares if anything sticks at this point. Only thing he cares about is making money. Because in front of a record crowd in Tennessee, all right, Knoxville, Tennessee, in front of a record crowd, he's going to drop a damn stinker right in front of all of us, all right? On the USA Network, he's going to drop a shit load, all right? A stanking load right on our TV screens, and people are just going to watch it. There's going to be fucking marks and fans talking about, oh, how great this show was. The show was ass, all right? I'm not sitting here listening to the bullshit, all right? And we're not going to sit here and we're not going to be gaslit, man. That's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. I had too much self-respect to get through the entire show last week. And the only reason why I got through the show tonight was specifically because I had absolutely nothing lined up. I had nothing on the schedule this evening. So it was like, man, I might as well just try to trog my way through this shit. And it was so hard to get through, man. These shows are getting harder and harder week by week to get through because of how bad they are. Just once, I want to get on here and say, you know how good tonight's show was? I give it a 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 10. I just want to say that a show was good, man. But I can't because we just keep getting bullshit week after week after week. Start and stop pushes. Long ass, boring ass, botchy ass matches. No scenes. No real live segments. No true dialogue. No effort, man. No effort. Just not even a little bit of effort, man. That's all I ask for out of these shows, man. Just show me that you're trying. But I can't even see that. You know, I watched AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday. I haven't watched Dynamite in like 2 years now. All right. I just finally sat down. I was like, you know what? It was on TBS. We were watching Big Bang Theory. It came on. I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll give it a shot. I'll try it. Was it a good show? No. But at the very least, I could tell that these people, they actually care about this shit. They're passionate about this shit. And they're out there having fun. Right? You can see that they're out there having fun. And when they're having fun, it makes you kind of want to have a little bit of fun. The matches sucked and the promos sucked. All right, if I have to sit through another Hangman Adam Page segment, all right, I might just blow my damn brains out. But for what it was worth, I had a much better time in viewing Dynamite than I've had viewing Raw in any capacity over the last year and a half, 2 years. And I don't even like AEW. That's the thing. I had a better time watching AEW Dynamite than I did watching Raw, especially over the last 2 months. Very much so over the last 2 months. I just had more fun. The matches were dumb. They didn't make any sense. This shit was just happening. But it was fun. Shit, man. Can I get some fun out of these shows, dog? Damn. Let's go ahead and jump into this review. We start off with Bianca Belair in the ring. All right. She starts off backstage next to the Tennessee University, Tennessee State. I don't know. Whatever. All right. Fucking college logo. Then she walks out to the ring, talks about how great it feels to be home in Knoxville and how she feels so much love and this, that, and the other, how this is her safe space, and she sings Rocky Top. All right, well, she doesn't sing it, but, she claps along, the audience sings Rocky Top. I guess it's a alma mater chant or something like that. It's a college chant. How the fuck are we supposed to know this? I'm all the way across the damn planet at this point. How am I supposed to care about what's going on right now? I have no idea. I can obviously point out Tennessee on the map. I've probably driven through Tennessee, once, twice at this point in my life. I think I've driven through it once, actually. I've driven through Tennessee. I didn't stop in Tennessee, but I drove through it. And that's it. Okay, so how the fuck are we supposed to know about all this shit? But who cares? All right, Naomi comes out. All right, and I don't care about this segment. I can't. Bianca Belair was gone for a whole month for one. And then before she was gone, this whole thing, the whole reveal with Jade, all this shit, this was going on for like 4 months already. So it's been 5 months since this whole shit kicked off. And just now, Bianca Belair and Naomi are about to start getting into something. And I don't care. Naomi had a couple of decent lines saying, oh, it would suck if you and your mom were in a wheelchair because Bianca Belair's parents were out in the audience. And Bianca's mom is in a wheelchair, I guess. So, you know, that was a decent line. But she says that she went to her childhood, like she went to Bianca's childhood home and let herself in the door. And her parents weren't there, but she looked through some like photo album or some childhood photo album, some shit like that. And I'm like, why can't we get this in a video package? Why? Why can't, or at least have her show it, right? Show us the footage of this happening, because that would be entertaining. But no, we don't get that. We just get fucking Naomi sitting in the middle of the ring telling us that she did all this, allegedly, because we don't even know. There's no proof. But whatever, man. While they're doing all this shit, here comes Jade Cargill so she can brawl with Naomi for the 30,000th time at this fucking point. All right, she does it every single fucking week at this damn point. She just goes out there. She sees Naomi in the ring. She beats her up, kicks her out of the ring, and that's it. All right, she stares off, has a little face off with fucking Bianca. And here comes Nia Jax. We're about to get a triple threat match for the Money in the Bank qualifier between Naomi, Jade, and Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. This match sucked. Who cares? All right. I think Naomi pinned fucking Nia Jax. Who cares? We move on. All right. Nia Jax is in the Naomi's in the match. We don't care. All right. Jade Cargill looks like a jobber at this point, so it doesn't even matter. Triple H isn't even trying to put a microphone in her hand. So whatever. All right. We don't care. We move on. All right. After this, we get the Bloodline. They walk up to R-Truth. Backstage, R-Truth is back to talking to nobody again. All right, we're just regressing so fucking far at this point. R-Truth is backstage. I'm assuming he's talking to Lil Jimmy. I don't know, but he disrespects Jeff Cobb. All right, and they set up a match for later on tonight. Next up, we got an interview from Tiffany Stratton. I don't care. She just says she's gonna be ready for whoever wins the Money in the Bank. Then pops up fucking Naomi. Naomi says that what happened to Jade can happen to Tiffany, or even worse. And then out of nowhere, here comes Alexa Bliss. All right, like there's just too much shit going on, man. And it's not even too much shit going on. It's just not. There's nothing happening, man. You just got different people showing up, speaking a couple words, and then that's it, man. Alexa Bliss says that she has her eyes on the championship too. Like, who cares? After this, we get JC Mateo versus R-Truth, man. We get Jeff Cobb against R-Truth in the year of our Lord 2025, man. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? Of course, Jeff Cobb won after like a fucking 10-minute match. And then he beats down R-Truth. And then Jimmy Uso comes out for the save. Who fucking cares? We move on. The Street Profits, they come out next. They're cutting a promo, a basic ass fucking promo, boring ass, forgettable ass promo about how the tag team division is so hot right now, but they're the ones that are on top right now. All right. Then Fraxium come out. They say they didn't get a fair shake, so they won another match. All right. Then here comes Jobber City Machine Guns. All right. They come out and say, oh, well, they deserve a match because the Street Profits never beat them. And then DIY comes out talking about how there's a conspiracy against them to fucking not get the tag team championships back. And then while everybody's bullshitting around, here come the Wyatt Six. All right, lights turn out, the Wyatt Six appear, and they do the same exact shit that they did last week in the main event. They just did all this. They did all the same moves. They did it to pretty much exactly the same people. All right. The same spots. Everything was damn near exactly the same that they did last week. Uncle Howdy's sitting in the middle of the ring like, come on, like this is how you do this, man? This is how you fucking bring the Wyatt Six back? How do you fucking fumble this, Triple H? What are they? So they're after the tag team champions. That's it. That's the storyline for them. The Wyatt Six is after the tag team championships. All right, they're jobbers. Who cares? We move the fuck on. Los Garza, they're coming out next, and they're about to go up against Rey Fenix and Javon Evans, making his WWE debut. All right, they were making a very big deal early on in the show about this match that Ethan Page, Javon Evans, and Rey Fenix and one other guy, I forget his name, Laredo Kid, I think his name was, some other fucking jobber from AAA, right? So they were making a very big deal about this, so they were like, all right, let's put Javon Evans on the show, so that way, you know, we can show that Javon Evans is going to be on the show at Worlds Collide. And this is, seems like a good idea. But then you have Javon Evans specifically job out to Los fucking Garza. Javon Evans got pinned in his first match on Friday Night Smackdown. All right. His first match on Friday Night Smackdown, he gets pinned while they're trying to promote this match between Ethan Page and Javon Evans and these two other fucking luchadors, man. What is Triple H doing? Then after this, we get Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire for the second time in as many weeks. Bro, I don't care, bro. Zelina Vega is not believable. She is a botch machine. She's 4'6" in high heel pumps, bro. And I'm supposed to believe that she's a champion and she's going over and she's overcoming the odds of three people. It would be one thing if she was, a small person, but she was really darting around that ring and really had all these great crazy ass moves in the ring. And then you could be like, oh, okay, well, she's really small, but she makes up for it in her speed and how she uses that speed. No, she's not even fucking fast in the ring, man. She probably runs a 6-second 40. Not even fast in the ring, and I'm supposed to believe that this girl is just overcoming all these odds, my G. And then this match had the nerve. The Zelina Vega versus Alba Fire match had the fucking nerve to be 15 minutes long. Broken up by not one, but two ads. We move on. We get Carmelo Hayes and The Miz backstage. All right. There's a little bit of tension brewing here. All right. Miz is talking about how much, stuff he's sacrificed for Carmelo Hayes. All right. And he's asking what brought you to the dance? Carmelo Hayes is like, me, my talent brought me to the dance. I'm going to run the play exactly how we planned it out. But I'm the one that got me here. All right. I appreciate all your help and everything, but don't get it twisted. I'm still him. All right. And, Miz doesn't do the awes him thing that he normally does because, Miz is obviously annoyed by Carmelo Hayes speaking up for himself. But whatever. All right. Julia, after this, finally gets a video package, but we already don't care. I'm pretty sure she's already taken her first L. So it's like, who cares? We don't care at this point. Right. Zelina Vega, after this little video package that Julia cuts, all right, she runs into Julia backstage, and Julia just says that, she sees the title, or she sees Zelina, and she's also sees that title. Who cares? Who fucking cares, man? Who cares? Let's move on. All right, we get a Damian Priest promo. This was a nothing promo. All right, he basically just says how much he respects Drew McIntyre. He doesn't like Drew McIntyre still. Can't stand his ass still. But he does respect the guy that got into the ring with him. All right, because of course he does. And then he calls out Jacob Fatu. He asks, what's next for me? I'm not going to ask what's next. I'm going to tell you. I'm going after who I consider to be the most badass champion on Friday Night Smackdown, and that's Jacob Fatu. Once again, just burying the WWE Championship. Why wouldn't he want to go for the WWE Championship and then maybe go back down and go to no, none of that. No, we don't get John Cena versus Damian Priest. I mean, I understand that we only have so many dates, but I mean, he can absolutely fill up some of those dates with just nice little random matches on Friday Night Smackdown, because that at the very least is something that the people deserve, right? At the very least at this point, because we are getting absolutely zilch out of any of this, all right? But like I said, Damian Priest, he cuts a nothing promo. He says he wants to face Jacob Fatu, says he doesn't like the rest of the bloodline, but he respects Jacob Fatu because of course he does. Everybody is all about love and respect and appreciation and ball licking around this bitch, all right? So after this, we get Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade, all right? This match was what it was, all right? It was an all right match, too damn long, all right? This match was like 20 fucking minutes long, and it ended because Solo Sikoa, he like jumped on the ropes when Jacob Fatu was going for a moonsault, his little prettiest moonsault ever. He did that, then Solo Sikoa, he jumps on the ropes and he's like, do it again, do the moonsault again, I want to see it again. And then Jeffrey Cobb is like, I want to see it again, do it again. And while Jacob Fatu is distracted, I don't remember exactly what happened. I think he got pushed or whatever. Somebody super kicks. I think Jimmy came out and super kicked Jeffrey Cobb, and Jacob Fatu got pushed. Andrade ends up hitting I think it's called the answer or some shit like that on Carmelo Hayes, and Carmelo Hayes gets jobbed out. Carmelo Hayes is buried. It is what it is. All right, it is what it is. He got a whole promo segment. Andrade, we haven't seen him all night. Then all of a sudden, Andrade is out here winning. He got a whole promo segment, all this. All right, he was already falling off with The Miz. How much more losing can Carmelo Hayes do before we just admit that he is just absolutely, completely buried and he's not going to be anything, at least under Triple H's regime? It just is what it is. After this, we get an interview from LA Knight where he rambles on for like a minute and a half. I'm usually happy to see LA Knight, and I was happy to see him here. But at the end of the day, this promo was absolutely nothing. He was just talking about the Money in the Bank, how everybody's punched their shot, and how he's been there three years in a row, or this is going to be his third year in a row. So, bets are on him, basically. Then Aleister Black comes up and he interrupts, and what am I watching, bro? I don't believe in Aleister Black at all. Let's move the fuck on. Jacob Fatu, he's mad that he just lost that match, of course. So he's backstage causing a ruckus. All right, throwing shit around, flipping tables, doing all this shit. And then Solo Sikoa, he comes up to him. He's like, hey, man, calm down. I was just trying to help. And Jacob Fatu says, hey, man, just like I said before, I don't need your help. All right. And then we fucking move on. All right. But then we get a promo from Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out there. All right. Returns to SmackDown for the first time in a couple of months, it feels like. All right. And he basically asked if he was a good champion. All right, that's what he asked. He said he asked somebody that he respects if he was a good champion. All right, I'm going to tell you straight up like this, Mr. Cody Raheem Rhodes. No, nigga, you were not a good champion. You did not have a good reign. In fact, you had one of the worst championship reigns, probably the worst WWE championship reign of all time. You had 10 matches, 9 or 10 matches in 380 days. All right. You feuded with the same 4 or 5 people throughout your entire thing. All right. There was nothing exciting about your fucking title reign. So yes, your title reign was ass. All right. He tried to run down the stuff that he did, like, oh, well, I faced off against AJ Styles. I faced off against my best friend, whatever. All right. Nobody cares. Then he asked if the people want a surprise. He's been gone for a while. So he asked if the people want a surprise. All right. People start yeeting. And then, of course, Cody Rhodes brings out Jey Uso. All right. Jey Uso comes down in the crowd. All right. He's yeeting. We're yeeting. We go into a commercial break in the middle of the yeeting. We come back from the commercial break and we just start up the yeeting again. The yeeting has stopped by the time we got out of the commercial break. All right. But the audience is yelling encore or some shit like that. Jey Uso goes ahead and does the roll of the dice, and they fucking, we start yeeting again. John Cena thankfully came came out and interrupted this yeet fest. All right, I couldn't handle any more of this. I was literally about to turn this shit off. But then John Cena comes out and kind of saves this whole thing, this abomination of a promo segment. All right, this abomination of a main event segment, period. All right, he calls them both Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. He calls them both John Cena wannabes. He says Cody Rhodes wants his John Cena's fame and Jey Uso wants John Cena's money. But Cody Rhodes is I forget what he said about Cody Rhodes. I think he said he's like just not talented enough, or he something like that. And then he said that Jey Uso wants his money, but he's too lazy to go get it. All right, and he says that, you know, they both will never cut it, this, that, and the other. Here comes Logan Paul. Logan Paul proceeds to cut a better promo than literally everybody else in the ring, probably except for John Cena. His promo was pretty good, but literally at least the other two people on the other side of the ring, Cody Rhodes came out and cut an awful promo. Jey Uso didn't even cut a promo. He was just out there eating like a fucking dumbass. And then Logan Paul cuts a better promo than all of them, saying basically that, you know, he's better than, you know, everybody. John Cena also said that Logan Paul was the future of wrestling. All right, he does professional wrestling literally better than everybody else, which is it's true, right? It's literally true. Logan Paul, he's equipped for this shit. All right, and he actually looks like a star. So when he comes out and he's saying all this stuff, he looks believable. It's actually believable when he's saying all this. All right, but whatever, man. This was pretty much it. All right, Logan Paul says his words. Jey Uso says we don't have to wait till Money in the Bank. We can do this shit right now. All right. John Cena's getting ready to walk off because he's like, nah, I'm good. But Logan Paul's like, nah, let's do this. All right. And they start having a little bit of tension over that. But then Cody Rhodes says, what are you going to do? You're going to go backstage and polish his Peacemaker? And then John Cena's like, all right, fuck it. And then they brawl, because of course they do. The baby faces stand tall, and then we go off the fucking air. All right. Like I said, this show was ass, was trash, was awful, was garbage, was a stinker. Every single fucking bad adjective I can throw in there. All right. This show was terrible. This show was garbage. All right. So let me know what y'all thought about tonight's show down in the comments below. All right. I give this show a solid 0 out of 10. I won't give it a 0 out of 10. I'll give it a 2 out of 10 because John Cena and Logan Paul kind of saved it there at the end. But everything else literally in the show was absolute ass. Shit that nobody could possibly care about. So whatever. All right. Let me know what y'all thought down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you want to hear some more. And this has been your boy, Nate the Great, back with another video. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.